Just a note, guys, welcome to Connect with the Chamber. So far, so good. We're getting people onto our board here. I'm sure we can see each other's names. Dr. Jaceni has just joined the room. So welcome everybody so far. We'll start in a minute. I'm sure Audrey will kick in any minute now. So.
Okay, we will just give it 5 more minutes and then we'll start from there. Hi, Doc. I think people must be having some issues with logging, Sam.
Okay, I don't think we need to wait so long. I think we do start. This is being recorded for
Okay.
convenience. So what we can always do is they'll be entering the room with their passwords as we go along into the presentation. And then we can always share out the recording afterwards. So it's no stress.
Okay, I see Dr. Lydia came in but went out again. I just want to check with her on the side if there was a logging issue. Okay.
No problem. That's fine. Yeah, guys, so just a note, some marketing avenues here while we're waiting. We've got a Women's Day breakfast that we're going to be hosting out at Olivewood Golf Estate. If any one of you would like to join us for that, there is an invite for it, and we're looking for a max amount of 40 people, so seats are very limited. Yes, so it's 150 Rand for the breakfast. We are going to have really a great morning of interaction, competitions, and guest speakers. So if anybody would like to come and join us for that morning, that's Friday the 7th of August. So just in case you'd like to join us, that is an option as well. You can just RSVP to my email. Okay. Cool. So I think there's been so much things like, with regards to the connectivity issues that have been happening lately. Berea's been out, Sterling's been out, even Beacon Bay have had issues on internet. So we totally understand that, having access into a Zoom room could be really trying at this time. But yeah, we can just see as soon as Doctor is ready, Dr. Jaceni, we will continue.
Okay, she is in the room. I think let's start, and then, as you said, then people can just come in and we can just allow them to log on. Good morning, everybody. My name is Audrey Bartes. I am here in Komani. Our weather is supposedly much better today than East London's. It's usually the other way around, but we're not as cold today as we usually are, which is very nice. Today we are going to be discussing the importance of taking care of your mental health. Now, before we start with that, and before I introduce our guest speaker, just some etiquette, please. Please make sure that your mics are off, and only when you want to say something, please unmute yourself, or there's a raise a hand function, or you can leave a comment or question in the chat room, and we will be taking it from there. When you unmute, please make sure that your phones are either on silent or vibrate, because as we know, Murphy's Law, the minute you switch yourself on, then the calls will be coming in. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It's always exciting to see people every Thursday and connecting this way, even though it is now business unusual for us. And it seems to be coming the new norm. So unfortunately, we don't always get to see the faces, but it would be nice just to seeing that we're still a small group. If you guys can unmute just so that everybody can see, and the doctor will then unmute and open up her screen so that we can see who we are talking to as soon as I'm done with the introduction. Okay. So Dr. Lydia is a qualified registered neuropathic doctor, she obtained her bachelor's degree in community and health sciences, a bachelor of complementary medicine, neuropathic medicine, and then a master's degree in nanoscience. I feel that there are some very high words here that I've never seen in my entire life, from the University of Western Cape. She currently has a neuropathic practice in Queenstown. Now, if you're ever in Queenstown and you want to get any herbal medicine, if there's an oil I'm looking for, I know I can call her up. If you're looking for massages, supplements, health foods, lifestyle advice, wellness coaching, she's got it all there. And she looks after everything. There's this beautiful thing she does to help you de-stress, which is cupping, which I first thought was, some weird exchange, but everybody that's come out of there talks about the benefits of it. She's got a very gentle voice. From the minute that she speaks to you, you just want to listen and sit with her forever. But today we've got her and blessed to have her for a whole hour. So, Doc, if I can please get you on screen here. Dr. Lydia. Hi, there she is. Okay, if you can unmute, Doc, if you're ready, we can start, and then we'll just let the people come in, and then we'll allow the door to open for them. Okay, so feel free to start. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Audrey, and I'd like to greet everyone who's in this meeting today. As Audrey has said, I'm Dr. LL Jaceni, and in Queenstown, I have a naturopathic practice here. Audrey said I'm a neuropathic doctor. It's naturopathy. So I know it's always a confusion with people. So naturopathy is basically a part of alternative medicine. We treat the body in accordance to the principle that the body has its own healing power. So our basis of medicine or our basis of treatment is normally just to give the body the nutrients that it needs through food as medicine. We also do a lot of herbal medicines, and we also do body therapies, such as your massage therapy, your cupping therapy, your craniosacral therapy. So as Audrey has said, today we'll be focusing on mental health. So it's a very broad topic, but I'll try to narrow it down to what is going on right now. So I always like to first explain how the body adapts to any stress or any stressor that comes into our minds, as also into our lives as well. We have a phenomenon that's called the stress theory that was first coined by Sale in 1935. So this phenomenon says that stress has 3 stages. The first one being the alarm stage, the resistance stage, as well as exhaustion. So when there's any stressor that comes into your life, your body gets alarmed, and then there will be some hormones that will be relieved or released by the body so that you are able to get some relief, or you are able to cope with whatever that's happening at that particular moment. For example, now, when this pandemic, or we started being on lockdown, the body, it was a shock to the body. So it was something new that we didn't know. Also, so the body was able to release some hormones to tell us how to cope during that period. So the hormones that are normally being released by the body, it's your noradrenaline as well as adrenaline. So what they basically do to the body, they will increase your mental alertness. So they will tell your mental, your neurotransmitters or your brain to be on alert, so that if there's anything that you need to quickly think about, you can be able to think on the spot. It's called the fight or flight response. So here your brain is alert, and then you are unable to sleep because you are constantly thinking about what can be done in life, able to cope with whatever is happening. The release of noradrenaline and adrenaline in your body is that your blood pressure levels raises, your breathing rate also raises, as well as your heart rate also raises. So this is just the way of your body trying to regulate itself in this alarm state. The other thing that happens is that during your alertness, or when your mental health is alert, your digestion also is suppressed. So you are unable to go to the loo as you normally do. This is just the way of your body trying to, because if you have to run or you have to hide from something, you won't have enough time to go to the loo or anything like that. So your metabolism is also going to be stopped at this moment. Cortisol levels are also increased. Cortisol is also a stress hormone that's released when there's a stressor that comes into your body. So when your cortisol levels are increased, what happens is that your immune response diminishes. So your immunity becomes sluggish, as well as there's insulin resistance that happens. So your body, it does all of these things to try and adapt to whatever's happening at that particular moment. So when everything has subsided, meaning when whatever you were stressing about has subsided, now your body goes back to its normal functioning. And then this is when the resistance stages come, because your body develops a memory for whatever happened, so that when something like that happens again, you are able to cope with it better. So that is the resistance stage, meaning now your body is able to do to release these hormones again when it needs to be. But during prolonged periods of time, also when there's a lot of stress or prolonged periods of stress, or there's chronic stress, meaning there's something that's stressing you for long periods of time, as what is happening now with COVID-19. When you are being stressed every day about what's happening around, you are hearing your people that are close to you, your friends, your family being infected, your business being affected a lot because of the lockdown that we're still in. So this is a prolonged period of stress. Your body now goes into exhaustion. So with exhaustion, it means that all those hormones that were supposed to go back to normal so that your body is able to function normally, they don't go back to that normal functioning, meaning all that alertness is still there, that that high blood pressure is still there, your breathing rate is still high. So there's a lot of exhaustion that happens now in your body, because remember that you've been alert all this time. Your mental neurotransmitters have been alert all this time. So your body gets to a state of being exhausted, and your adrenal glands also get exhausted. So this is the time now that you need to take care of the body, or a time that you need to give the body some supplements that it needs so that it's able to cope better, or it's able to deal with the symptoms that will come. Because some of the symptoms that come with this prolonged period of stress would be insomnia. So people are unable to sleep. People are irritated, so they are agitated because there's nothing that they are certain of. So that causes irritability as well. Some of the things that happens is that people are now being diagnosed with things like your high blood pressure. People that were already taking some chronic medication for high blood pressure or for diabetes as well, that is not being controlled because the body is not able to control it properly. So now the aim for your treatment, or the aim for a naturopathic treatment, would be then to reduce everything that the strain that has been happening in your HPA axis, which is the stress theory that I was talking about. So your aim now is to reduce the strain on your adrenal glands by giving it some diet and some supplements that it needs so that it's able to cope better. So I'm just going to share a few things that people can do at home, or even in your workplaces as well, things that you can do so that you are able to cope better. I'm just going to make a disclaimer here that everything that I will be talking about is just a way of coping. But if you have serious issues, or you have serious diagnosis that has been made, things like your depression, or you have chronic anxiety, or you have any mental health problem, it's very, very important that someone speaks to their healthcare provider, or you speak to your doctor, so that if there needs to be more treatment that you need, you can be able to get on that. So these are just a few advice that people can use at home. As I said, the first thing, or the first aim, is to reduce the strain. So you're going to reduce the strain by giving your body the diet that it needs. When your body is exhausted, the first thing that it needs is energy, because you're going to feel drained and you're going to feel like you don't want to do anything. This is when your carbohydrate cravings come in, as well as stimulant cravings come in. So you feel like you can't function without taking any stimulant, or you can't function without taking a chocolate or something that's sweet. Because remember, now, as I said, that cortisol increases during the alarm state of your stress, but during prolonged periods of stress, like cortisol is being down-regulated. This means that your body is not going to have enough glucose to feed the nervous system, because the main component that feeds our nervous system is glucose. So when glucose is not being regulated properly, your brain is going to need that glucose. So that's when you're going to start having this carbohydrate cravings. So the first thing you must do now is to make sure that the carbohydrates that you are taking are good carbohydrates, which is your complex carbohydrates. You can get these in things like your oatmeal, your oats, your millet, your whole grains like your lentils, buckwheat, your brown rice. So these are the good carbohydrates that you must give to your body, as well as carbohydrates that you get from your vegetables and fruits as well. So you must make sure that you don't give your body the refined carbohydrates, things like your refined sugars and your white breads, your baked goods like that, because you are causing more problems to the insulin resistance that the body is currently facing. The other thing that you need to be mindful of is to stay away from stimulants. I know your body craves them because it needs that energy, but it needs the energy because there's not enough glucose, so there's no energy production that's happening. So if you're feeding it with complex carbohydrates, that means it's going to be able now to get the amount of glucose that it needs, as well as that glucose is going to be released properly by the body. The other thing that you need to be mindful of is to make sure that you drink some herbs that will help with the energy regulation of your body. So things like your ginseng, things like your ginkgo as well. As I said, it's very important to know what's happening in your body, because if you're someone who is suffering from high blood pressure, some of these herbs won't be advisable that you take them. So it's very important to contact someone before taking any herbal medicines or before changing even your diet, especially if you're someone who is on chronic medication. The other thing that you need to do is to increase physical and mental stamina. Because as I said now, because you are exhausted, your body is unable to function as well as it's supposed to. So this is the time now that you need to start taking care of your physical health. So our bodies, they integrate in how they work. So our body doesn't just work one system on its own. So if you are dealing with nervous system, it doesn't mean that you need to neglect your physical well-being, because our body interlinks a lot. Even those hormones, they interlink a lot in our body. So your physical activity now is very important, even if it's just taking like 30 minutes of your day to do something. You can walk, you can cycle, you can jog, just something that's gonna release the endorphins from your body. The other thing that's very important is to get some resources for your body and for your mind, because we are very stressed, we are uncertain about a lot of things. So get proper information for whatever you are going through at that moment. So if you are worrying about your business not making it, get information on how you can devise ways of coping during this time. Or if you are worried about a family member or a friend who's been affected or infected by the virus, get information on what they can do, things like that. And also try to minimize this time or the amount of time that you spend on unnecessary information. Because another thing that's really affecting our mental health at this moment is that we are busy reading about everything and anything. We are not even sure of the stuff that we get from the internet, from our social media. There's a lot of circulating stuff that's not even true. So you must also ask yourself, is it wise for me to read this? Is it wise for me to listen to this? Because some people are really just triggered by the false information that's going on around our spaces at the moment. The other thing that you need to do is to supplement. Your body, as I said, needs the supplements to feed it, as well as to regulate the hormones that are needed for coping. So you need to supplement with things like your magnesium. Magnesium has been shown to be very good in feeding the nervous system. And also you can get your magnesium from food. So things like your broccoli, your spinach, your bananas, they all have magnesium in them. So it's something that you can incorporate in your diet as well, so that you are able to get enough magnesium from that. The other thing that's very important is to get things like your zinc and your vitamin C. These are the elements that helps with the immune functioning. As I said, that when there's a lot of stress happening in the body, your immune response also decreases. So you need to get some supplements that will increase the functioning of your immune system, or that will boost your immune system. So things like your vitamin C, as well as your zinc, so your selenium, those are very good elements that you will need in your body. You can also get those from your seeds. Things like your sunflower seeds, your pumpkin seeds are also very high in zinc. Things like your citrus fruits, they're very high in vitamin C. So those are just the sources of food that you can get those vitamins from. The other thing that's very important is to feed now the nervous system, so to feed your neurotransmitters. For this, you will need your essential fatty acids. So your essential fatty acids are your omega-3, 6, and 9s. You can get these from a lot of oils and a lot of, from a lot of oils, things like your flaxseed oils, your hemp seed oil. Your avocados are also very good fats. So it's stuff that you can use or incorporate in your diet, so that you are sure that your mind is being fed properly. The other thing that you will need is to hydrate your body. So water is very important as well, because our cells need water for functioning. So if you are exhausted or you are under a lot of stress, you need to be drinking water. I know that we are scared now because it's winter, and so we are not able to drink as much water as we're supposed to. But even if you just warm your water a bit, you need to get some water into your body. You need to get some water into your cells, because water is also important and needed by the body for all the regulation that the body does for us. There's some physical things or physical therapies that you can do at home as well. Things like your breathing exercises. I love this a lot. Breathing is something that we take for granted. We just breathe to get oxygen in, and our breathing tends to be very shallow, to a point where it doesn't do the other components that it's supposed to do in our body. Because breathing also helps to relax our minds, and it also helps us to focus. So it's very important now, even just for like 20 breaths in the morning before you get out of bed, or if you have some time, you can even just go outside your house. I'm not just saying to roam around the streets, but just outside your house, so that you can get that fresh air. Breathe in slowly through your nose on a count of 4 or 5, and then hold that breath on a count of 4 or 5 again. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth again on a count of 4 or 5. It helps a lot with relaxing your nervous system. You can do that at night as well, especially if you're someone who's struggling to sleep, or you're someone who's getting a lot of anxiety. You can do those breathing exercises. I did them just before I talked here, because I was getting a bit anxious. So just breathe and make sure that you are relaxing your body as well. other things that are important that to incorporate is stuff that you enjoy. I know other people will enjoy reading, others will enjoy maybe watching something, but give yourself those little pleasures so that you are able to have something to look forward to. Maybe you know that at the end of the week, what the reward that you're going to do for yourself, or the reward that you're going to give yourself is reading a beautiful book. Do that for yourself, or you're going to call a friend, because we are unable to be in contact with a lot of people, or we are unable to socialize as much as we normally do. Our body still gets a lot of stress from that as well, because as humans, we are people that thrive in connection. So we do need the connection with other human beings. So even if it's just calling a friend or video calling a friend to find out how they are doing, or to just tell them about how you are doing as well, it's very important. The other thing, or the last thing that I'm going to talk about, is meditation. Meditation is very important for your nervous system or for your mental health as well. So other people will prefer to just meditate maybe on a guided tone. So maybe you can just download something off the internet, or others will prefer to just be in a quiet space. Others will prefer to maybe meditate on a particular scripture, whichever way that you prefer, but taking those few moments, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, to sit down and to quiet your mind, or to relax your mind, is very important, because you need this mind to cope. If you're going to exhaust it further, then that means you're not going to be able to cope more, or you're not going to be able to move forward from this. But you need to actually take care of your mental health. You need to give it the resources that it needs for it to function properly. I know it's hard, it's very hard, but doing just a little bit from what you normally do, to just incorporate, even if it's just one thing at a time, then your body is able to cope better. It's able to release the hormones that it needs better, and it's able to move forward better. I think that's it for me for today. We'll take questions if there are people that wants to take questions through you, Adri. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc. That was so enlightening. Thank you so much. If there's any questions, please unmute so that we can see, or raise your hand, or you can pop us a question in the chat room, please. And then Doc will just answer from there onwards. Thank you so much. Okay, we've got a comment, not a question, from Adria, and she says, thank you, very good practical tips. I think everybody can echo that. If we just take what you've said today and just try and incorporate that in our day-to-day, we will definitely not feel the strain as much as we have with this whole COVID. And if you are in Queenstown, you can always just go to Dr. Jaceni's office, and I can assure you will come out there very stress-free. Okay, I just want to see. Sam, is there anything from your side? Okay, another comment. Thank you for the tips. This is from Sivu Yisi Wekiba. Have to leave for another meeting. Love the meditation element and eating habits, important for me. Please share recipes for daily healthy eating. I think if you just go onto Doc's Facebook page and you follow her, you will be able to get some information. She has a shop in Queenstown called Komani Healthshop, and if you follow that page, you will also get some interesting tidbits. But Doc, I know you love cooking. So is there maybe something that you just want to share with them that will be easy to put together? especially when we grab all this junk when we come to work and you just think a sandwich placed together and it's not necessarily the carbohydrates that we should be getting. Is there maybe something that you just want to share with us? Thank you.
Okay. I think the one thing that I've been really enjoying during this time is making breakfast, because I know that I'm going to be needing a lot of energy throughout the day. So firstly, your breakfast is a very important meal of your day. So one of the things that I've been doing lately is just making oats. I know a lot of people don't like oats. When I talk about oats to people, it's like, but it depends on the stuff that you mix it with. Because if you're just gonna have it on its own, then also it's gonna be bad for your blood sugar levels. So mixing it with a lot of fruits makes it better. So your bananas, your strawberries in there, or blueberries as well. So I like mixing a lot of berries in my oats, and putting in some chia seeds as well, because chia seeds are high in your omega-3s. So I'll put in some chia seeds in there. I will also put in hemp seed oil in that oats as well, so that I'm getting all the nutrients I need for me in the morning. Another thing that you can do for it, it's winter now, so for supper, just something that I did this week is making lentils, because lentils are a very good complex carbohydrate. So instead of getting these simple carbohydrates, to get a complex carbohydrate like your lentils and making a soup, put in whatever veggies that you need or that you like in that lentil stew, and make a stew out of lentils. And you can put in your spices as well, like your cayenne peppers, your ginger, your garlic as well, your thyme. So these are all spices and herbs that helps to boost your immune system as well. So you know that you're getting all this goodness from just one bowl. Yeah.
I think we're going to enjoy breakfast a lot more. Babawa Markwanti is asking, is there any detoxing products that can assist with getting your mind in the right space?
Yes, thank you for that question, Babalwa. Detoxification is also very important, because when we are stressed, right, we get to eat a lot of foods that are not good for our body. And as I said, that metabolism also gets affected by stress. So we need to constantly be getting some stuff to help detox our body. So some herbs that are very good for detoxification would be things like your milk thistle, things like your dandelion, things like burdock and boho as well. Those are things that you can do for yourself, as well as things like using lemon on an empty stomach in the morning. Lemon in warm water, it helps to kickstart your metabolism, as well as to kickstart phase 1 detoxification in your liver. So just taking 2 or 3 slices of lemon in warm water in the morning. Another thing that's very good is your green beans. Green beans are very important for detoxification, especially detoxification of your kidneys, as well as a lot of water.
Thank you so much. I will never look at a green bean the same again. It's one of the vegetables I really don't like. Komani Jaceni is asking, what would be the side effect of the simple carbohydrate on our body?
Okay, the simple carbohydrates are things like your refined sugars, right? As well as your white breads or your white flour and white pasta. So what they do in the body, they are called to have a high glycemic index, meaning the minute that they get into your body, they are already converted into glucose molecules. So they will increase your blood, they will raise your blood glucose levels. So under stress, you don't need that spike. You don't need that spike
Sorry,
from your, okay. You don't need the spike.
Just 1 second for me, Doc. Please ensure that your mics are off. There was some interference.
Okay, so when you are under stress or when you are exhausted, you don't need the spike, you don't want the spike on your blood glucose level. So it's then beneficial to have something that will increase your blood glucose level steadily.
Thank you so much. I must say, if we listen to everything, if you guys can just look at Doc's face, it's all glowy, and it's one of the things that we all want to look like, radiant and all healthy. And I know it's all the stuff that you put in your body. So I promise I'll try this green bean thing. I might not like it. Okay, Sam, is there anything that you would like to ask or contribute at this point?
No, Dr. Jaceni, I think your presentation today, and not to think we know, has been very insightful and very adventurous for some of us to try those green beans. They help with lowering your cholesterol as well. And I'm a freak to eat chilies like apples. So that's got a higher vitamin C content than most of our oranges and supplements out there. So I love chili for that. And then your understanding of having hot lemon water in the morning, we are 100% we're on board. So, but yeah, as for breakfast, I'll have to think about that one. I don't also have breakfast, but yeah, we can start looking at little things to change our ways to make a better and healthy way of living. So yes, I do appreciate your time. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks.
Doc, is there any final thoughts or little bits of wisdom you want to give us before we close the session?
Okay, just the final a final thought or just a final statement to say is that I know we are very scared. Everyone is just scared and everyone doesn't know what to do going forward because we're not even getting enough information on what's going to be happening. So we are unsure about a lot of things. During that period of being uncertain about stuff, it's very important that we do everything that we can do for ourselves. The stuff that we have a control of, meaning being able to take care of our health, because that's something that you can do for yourself. So when everything out there is happening, but make sure that you are well and you are keeping well and you are keeping safe as well. So thank you.
Thank you for today. We really enjoyed this, and thank you so much for all the information that you've given us. Guys, like I said, she's got a Facebook page for Komani Healthshop, as well as her own personal page. So if you feel like asking questions, please pop by and ask her. And especially for what spices you should be using or the types of breakfasts and that. Doc, thank you so much again for all your time. And thank you everybody for logging in. Okay, have a safe day. Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.